Okay, in this case, I will talk about Chapter 8, testing, profiling, and dealing with exceptions. Okay, so let's start with grading on unit tests. Unit tests take their name after the fact that they are used to test small units of code. To explain how to grade a unit test, let's take a look at a simple snippet. I will create a new file called data.py. Inside, I will define a function. So in def, this function will receive the name of get underscore clean underscore data. It will receive a source, and inside I will say data is equal to load data source and clean data where we are clean underscore data, and we'll pass data again as a parameter, and finally I will return clean data. Okay, so this function get clean data function is responsible for getting data from source, cleaning it, and returning it to the caller. How do we test this function? Well, one way of doing this is to call it and then make sure that load data was called once with source and its only argument. Then we have to verify that clean data was called once with the return value of load data. And finally, we would need to make sure that the return value of clean data is what it returned by the get clean data function as well. So to do this, we need to set up the source of and running this code. This may be a problem. One of the golden rules of unit testing is that anything that crosses the boundary of your application needs to be simulated. We don't want to talk to the real data source, and we don't want to actually run a real function if they are communicating with anything that is not contained in our application. A few examples would be a database, a search service, an external API, or a file in the file system. In our unit tests, we need to simulate all those things in some way. Unit tests need to be run by any developer without the need for the whole system to be set up on their box. So let's save this, and we will continue with mock objects and patching. Okay. And first of all, in Python, these fixed objects are called mocks. Okay, the act of replacing a real object or function, or in general any piece of data structure with a mock is called patching. Okay, this mock library provides the patch tool, which can act as a function or a class decorator, and even as a context manager that you can use to mock things out. Once you have replaced everything you don't need to run with suitable mocks. You can pass to the second phase of the test and run the code you are accessing. After the execution, you will be able to check those mocks to verify that your code has worked correctly. Assertions. The verification phase is done through the use of assertions. An assertion is a function, or you can call it a method, that you can use to verify equally between objects, as well as other conditions. When a condition is not met, the assertion will raise an exception which makes your test fail. You can find a list of assertions in the unit test module documentation. However, when using PyTest, you will typically use the generic assert statement, which makes things even simple.